Alright, so welcome to a new tutorial, and today I'll be showing you how a build system can be created in Unreal Engine 4. So let's get started. I have here a sample first person project, and there's only starter content. So let's wait for it. Alright, so we have here our editor, and I have already opened Blender to make a floor, and we just need to import it into the content browser. So I make a new folder called build system, and inside our folder I make meshes and import the floor I saved on our desktop. So let's see if it's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, so now we create in Blender a wall, so a cube, alright, I think that's okay for now. Let's drag this in the middle. Alright, so delete the other one and export it as FBX and say this is a wall. Right, so import the wall. You can alternately use from the Epic launcher, from the marketplace from Epic, the meshes, the building meshes. Let me see. Props. Well, there are a lot of props. You can remember where the marketplace was very basic. So you can use Modular wooden prop pack, and works pretty good for that. Alright, so import the wall. Alright, so we have here our basic meshes. Make sure it has some collision, but it has good collision. Alright, then we create a enum and call this build type. Inside our enumeration we can create two types called floor and wall. For now, you can add more as you want, but for our purposes we create just two types. Alright, so we have our enumeration, our meshes, and from the meshes we create a new folder called BP and create blueprint actors from our meshes. So the first one is wall. Make sure it's in the middle because it's better for tracing. And create our floor. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, so now we need to go in our first person character, and we can just delete the default things here. And let me see what's going on. Yeah, whatever. Let's create a new function called building trace, and we need a output called trace end. It will be a vector, and I think that's all for now. Alright, so break this node and get line trace by channel, and now we need to get the actor location, and we break vector, and now make a vector. Let's connect those axes, and I think the z-axis we need a base high, so I think 64 is good for now, and this will be start. And for the end we need to multiply that. Yeah. Here we need the control rotation, and we need the forward actor vector, not actor, and this will be multiplied with float. Yeah, and this will get the distance here. So if we say what is a good distance? 500. Alright, so we have our trace. Now we need to break our hit result and get the trace end. So that should be for now. Compile and save. Alright, so we have our building trace. Now we can set up our input events in our project settings. So under input tab, recreate action mapping, and we say toggle bullet build, and say for this E. Alright, then oh, a new one, floor, toggle floor. No, we make it a bit different. We say toggle floor and toggle wall. So let's say this is one, and this is 2. That's better. Let's get back to our first person character and make a new custom function or custom event and say toggle build mode, and under inputs we need to get our building struct, build type, and call this building. Alright, so now we can we create a new variable, a bool variable called is in building mode, sorry. Get branch. Under false we set our building mode to true, and now we spawn a actor from class. Alright, so make sure this system isn't for multiplayer, it's for single player currently, but I got this also working with multiplayer, but it's a lot different than this system. This is just a simple system, but you can modify it and it can work pretty good. So by the class we can select by our enum type. So yeah, for floor we have our blueprint actor floor. For wall we have our wall actor. Alright, so now we need to set up our spawn, transform, make transform. You don't need to set up their values because it only gets spawned, and yeah, this actor that gets spawned will be moved later on. So our return value needs to get promoted to a new variable. This will be BP build actor. Alright, and now we need another variable called placed. And it needs to be a branch. Right, so if it's not placed, we will just say our building trace needs to be there, and we will teleport our blueprint actor to the destination location. And we could connect those, but if we do that it will be a call stack, so we make a little delay and say 0.01. So alright, so basically that's everything. And under building trace we need to set up something, because we need actors to ignore. We make a new array and put our build actor inside it, because if we trace, it will trace itself. So it will trace our building actor, so it won't work for now. By the way, we let debug them right now. You don't need to debug, but it's better to see our result, our trace result. So if it's true, if it's in building mode, no, wait a second. Before we make something here, we set place to not. So alright, so now we have our fire event by default, and under fire we can set placed to true. Alright, so if building mode is true, oh no, if placed true, set building mode to nothing. That's good. Alright, now set up our build event. Event build what was it? Input event. Oh, come on. What did I set up? Toggle floor, toggle wall. Okay. Good. So now we can call our function toggle build mode and say floor, but this is wall. Copy that and paste it. And this is floor. Alright. So I think that's all. Let's see. Toggle 1. I think that wasn't right because something is crashing. Oh, I don't know. Probably, maybe. Let me see what we did wrong. So it gets spawned. Boom, it is set to true, places to 0. Collision always spawn, ignore collisions. It gets set. Ah, I know why. This here. The teleport needs a target. And now it should work. Alright, our trace works, but I can't see any platform at the moment. So if I press something, it gets out of our building mode, but there's no mesh. That's sad. I mean, the trace works some kind of. But where's our actor? Alright, so after I looked at our script, our blueprint, I noticed that we multiplied this vector with this, but it should just be added. So this with this will be AND. Alright, so if we compile that and this is correctly, we can press play and press 1. We have here our wall, and if we press 2 we have our floor. So can easily build here. Pretty cool, huh? But if you can see, here is an issue. If we want here to place our wall, we can't, because our rotation isn't set up. So yeah, I will show you how we can fix that. So destination rotation under teleport needs to be set up. So we create a new variable called dest rotation and make it a rotor, compile it and connect it. And now we set up two new input events: project settings, input, action. Alright, left rot will be left. It will be the arrow on your keyboard, and right rot will be right. Right. Good. So back to our actor blueprint, we get these left rot, and now we get this here and say break rotator and make rotator, connect roll and pitch, and we need to set up yaw. So basically we add, not this, we add a float with 90 degrees and set actor, no, set destination rotation. So alright, this will be the left rotation, and we need the right rotation. So we can copy that and just say subtract float 90 degrees and set the Z axis. Alright, so now if everything is good, we can set up our wall and we can move it. You can see our actor is rotating. That's because on in our project settings under input is axis mappings, and there will be left and right turn rate. Alright, so we basically can remove them, and if you now press play and press the keys, you can see everything works fine. So place our base plate here. So as you can see, the system is pretty simple and it works pretty nice. Alright, our walls. Hooray, we have a building simulator. Cool. Great. yeah. And also you can do the trace distance with up and down arrow keys. You just need to add or subtract a bit, like 500 from your basic float value, and it works. So yeah, this is a basic build system. I hope that tutorial was helpful for you, and see you next time. Goodbye.